Good afternoon, Black Knight faculty. First, let me start by saying that I appreciate you. As I talk to teachers all across the country, actually, public school teachers are tired. You might think we're more tired here than someplace else, but that's not the case. It's a tough time to be a public educator, but remember, you do make a difference for our students. Very often when they misbehave and are tough, they're trying to figure out if you're going to give up on them. And the thing that I appreciate about this staff is that you do not allow them to do so. You do not allow them to fail. So we're doing a lot of hard work and heavy lifting. And the truth is, no one ever said this was going to be easy. I was walking down the hallway the other day and I said, public education is not for sissies. I stand by that. This is tough work, but it is good work. I often wonder what it would be like to have an easier job and not have so many challenges. But at the end of the day, I think this is the right work. And this is the right team. This is a great team, and I'm seeing amazing things in your classroom. You're raising the level of rigor. The PBLs, our project-based learning and problem-based learning that's taking place in the classroom, is pushing our kids to higher levels. I attended a conference with Mr. Wilbanks earlier last week, and what one of the speakers said was, it's not content knowledge, but the application of transferable skills that matter. And that's true. Can your students take what you've taught them and apply it to a new setting? That's going to be the tipping point. That's going to be the sign, so to speak, of if we have achieved our goals. So when you are tempted to give them the answers, don't. Let them struggle. Life is about struggling sometimes. Also, today that you're viewing this is October 6th. I believe it's the last day to register to vote. Research tells us about 40% of public educators vote. That means 60% aren't voting. That means when we don't get pay raises or we don't get certain consideration in our governmental actions that we have not done our job. It doesn't matter which side you're voting on. It just matters that you vote. I have a dear friend who sometimes we talk politics and we think, hey, we'll cancel each other's votes out. I think that's just a ploy because he doesn't want me to go to the polls. But I need to tell you, it's important that we have our voice. We need to tell our story, and the way we do that is through voting. Also, our students can register to vote here at the school. So if they're 18 or older, please encourage them to do so. Your vote is important. Speaking of votes, Johnny Griffin has earned the title of semifinalist for Gwinnett County Teacher of the Year, and that's a big deal. We have a lot of schools. That means he is in the top 10%. Congratulations, Mr. Griffin. You represent the Fine Arts Academy well. I'm so excited to have a Central Gwinnett teacher in the top 26. It is quite an honor. Also, BYOD, bring your own device. We are now officially open for BYOD as long as you completed the video that is on the training page. Once you view the video and click yes, you are good to go. And I know several of you are already using it. But what I need you to know is 3 things. Number 1, you are the teacher, you are the teacher, you are the teacher. You get to decide when the devices come out and when they need to be put up. You are in charge, the students are not. Secondly, we cannot allow students to plug in their devices at school. And I know sometimes that's hard for you. They'll tell you they need their power to call their parents or to do something else. But it's easier to stick with the resolve that we do not let students power up at school. If they need to call parent, we can let them use a phone in the attendance office. Thirdly, we will not be servicing any of the items that they bring. They need to know how to work their own device, and they need to take care of it, and basically they need to know how to upkeep their item. Lastly, and this is not one of the county rules, but you need to encourage your students to keep their devices very close to them. It's heartbreaking when a student loses a very expensive phone or iPad, and unfortunately we've had a record number of thefts lately. The bad part about the thefts is that it's keeping our assistant principals very busy. And with all the discipline, what I call discipline on demand, when you ring the bell, an administrator has to respond. It's pulling them away from doing instructional work, and that is their primary work, is being in the classrooms and supporting you instructionally. So please encourage your students to keep their devices very close to them, within view, not to leave it in a backpack. If they're walking someplace during fire drills, whatever, lunch, keep it with them. Thanks for all you're doing. It's been a tough start this year with all the testing that's going on. Hopefully you saw the response by Mr. Wilbanks and Arnie Duncan about this. If not, take time, back up and read it. Our superintendent is supporting you, and he appreciates all that you do, as do I. Let's make it a great week, Black Knights.